I figured out you can figure everything out with science, pretty much. Even in your own life, if it fits. I think I'm not okay. And a large reason for it would be knowing that it's hard for my parents to identify with me, because initially I'm not even sure how I ended up from point A to point B as an infant. But what I do understand is that they left me with a family, 2 of them, that destroyed my whole life. And the only thing they did for me was throw money at them. But I didn't get much of it, or really any of it, because when you take care of somebody that you supposedly want so bad, whether you gave birth to them or not, you're obligated to take care of them. And that didn't happen. And a lot of times that doesn't happen. There's a lot of proof in that, which would be a DNA test, that I know is true regardless. I'm not sure if everybody understands what it feels like to grow up in a household that speaks other languages, that you learn to understand and know that they're talking about the fact that you're not their child. And that becomes disgusting. To me, it never made sense. To me. But considering everything going on, it might make all the sense in the world. And the fact that they don't want to comply with a polygraph, and, you know, they've bullshitted that they will, is just to make it seem like they're not bullshitting. But a simple DNA test will take care of that. But considering something else, their connections in more than one community, like, I don't know if you guys understand, to me, you look like you have false sense of empowerment. You look like you have false sense of authority and false sense of control. And it seems more than controlling, it's like possessive, in a way that you're all disgusting me. What I figured out a long time ago is that immunizations do work, and they work really well. And we should be grateful that we had them growing up the right way and as best as they could do it, because it's why we're all physically okay right now. It's literally the reason. And you know, if people misunderstood my, you know, contact with the CDC and what that meant, science is beautiful until it comes back scary. And when it does that, when it comes back scary, is in what you don't understand, that you don't care to. If you assume that, you know, it's not something important to know, that's fine. Well, there are 4 other main core subjects. Try one of those, or 3 other, whatever. what I figured out is that my facial features and my features overall, just like everybody else's, based on the genetics, the research that go into immunizations, are what altered my physical features. On top of going through something extremely physically strenuous that changed pigmentation for me. I don't have to easily explain this to anybody because it's not easy to. When I was growing up, my skin was like 2 shades lighter. And in the summer, it gets darker depending on the area. So I was in North Carolina for a summer and my skin gets real dark. You know, in the winter, my color gets lighter. And for other people, it's not exactly the same. You can get a tan. You guys can get sun-kissed and it goes away right in summer. But my pigmentation picks it up and then it takes a really long time to fade. And it's because of what they did to me. Not with the immunizations, but with physical equipment. And you guys just don't get it. You guys think that that's acceptable. Okay, can you imagine growing up in a household that you're not even culturally bound, like culturally connected to? Does anybody understand what it feels like to be considered a lab rat by the general public? Like in how I was created? I know the military knows how I was created. I know. Because it's my file. I know how because I understand science, not because I stole it. What's weird is that I respected those families more than their own children. I don't just mind my manners because I'm around people that put me on edge. I do so because I just am. It makes me feel better. I like being good, no matter what I'm going through, because mentally you can't break me. If I'm sitting here and I'm doing drugs, you know, the strife and the hardship that comes with that is the same to some extent as the strife and hardship you go through if you do the right thing. So if I'm gonna go through the strife and hardship regardless, I don't need to do the shit that comes with doing drugs. And the extent of that was lying and enabling other addicts. But you can't possibly sit here and expect me to take blame for a bunch of people that have been using their whole lives. And there is in no way that any of you assume I am jealous. You guys want me to be jealous over what? The fact that you guys basically murdered each other all throughout the time you were using, stabbed each other in the back, stole from each other, slept with each other's loves of your lives, okay? Ruined your family's marriages, broke the whole country in half, it seems. Like, time and time again, you guys don't understand that lying genetically about who you are makes the medical field and scientists twist science, which is why they murdered, by accident, millions of people until they figured me out in my coma. And before that, when I gave birth. And before that, when I almost died. But I didn't give anybody HIV/AIDS, dumbasses. They covered me in somebody's blood at one point. And I still didn't get it. Not like that. What part of this whole thing isn't some popularity contest? It's not a competition. It's what tore my life apart. And you guys are all running to it like it's some fucking reward. How does reality fucking look to you guys? Does it matter who the fuck I'm related to? Probably not. Does it matter that I'm intelligent? Never did. Does it matter that I matter genetically for the whole human population? Nope, neither that. So you guys expect me to believe what on top of everything else? That there's good in the world? Do me a favor and don't fucking bullshit God to me ever again either. Any of you. Every time I see somebody walking into church that's a piece of shit, I'm like, I don't know what it's doing for you because it hasn't changed you yet. When I see people driving, listening to church and gospel music, makes me want to throw up inside. Same people raping kids. Same people stealing from people. Same people fucking trying to mass murder the whole population because they think this genetic situation is going to make them a million trillionaire. That's not the case. It is not my fault that they called me the N-word, not due to hygiene or anything else, habit, none of that. It was because I made money not physically doing anything in particular other than using my big ass head. That's why they called me that. How fucking nice is that for their argument? You guys created me from a bunch of stuff from the earth and they think it's a fucking joke. I'm not a fucking recycling, fucking trash, just like truck walking through the earth. There's your proof in the satellite. Do you know that physically hurts? Do you guys know that physically hurts? Do you guys know what that feels like? Do you know a human being shouldn't break Heisenberg's uncertainty principle? You basically murdered me and brought me back to life. The wrong way. You guys sent me to heaven and ripped me back to earth the wrong way. And you don't even care. You don't even give a shit. I will never again believe that there is anything good in life, or that any of you believe in God, or that any of you have God in you. You guys murdered me more than once because I saw God, and every time he brings me back. Because he acts like it's worth something and it's not. I can't even fucking cry without possibly having a stroke, a seizure, or a brain aneurysm. You guys are a fucking piece of shit. I hope you got all the science right, because guess what? I hope I fucking die soon.